Welcome to the Author Your Life podcast, where you can write a new script for your life and become the hero of your story. I'm your host, David McRae. You are the author of your life. Let's get started.
All you have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to you.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
It is not our abilities that show what we truly are. It is our choices.
Hello, Story Changer, and welcome back to the Author Your Life podcast. In this episode, I'm going to be presenting a piece of training that comes from my upcoming book, Author Your Life, Become the Hero of Your Story. In the weeks leading up to the book's release, and indeed in the weeks just after the book's release, I'm going to be delivering pieces of training that come from the book. So this might be a concept, it might be a strategy, a habit, a tool, a technique that's geared around making a significant change to a key portion of your life. You can enjoy a number of these trainings throughout the weeks and months to come, all coming from my brand new book, which is available for pre-order right now on Amazon. So if you enjoy this training and you think the rest of the book will be equally as useful to you, then make sure you head over to Amazon and pre-order your copy so you get it as soon as it's released. But whilst you're waiting, I'll leave you to enjoy this piece of training that comes from the book. Hello, Story Changers, and welcome back to another episode of Author Your Life. Today on the episode, we are talking about impatience. And impatience is something that I encounter on a day-to-day basis because I am impatient. I have the double curse of being a millennial and being a driven millennial. And this acts as both a strength and a weakness for me. My drive is one of my strengths. It allows me to get things done. It allows me to write books, to do seminars, to grow my business and to impact more people. But it also makes me impatient for results. It makes me push myself too hard. It can lead to me being overworked and stressed if I don't manage it. Also, I've grown up in the age where we can get things easier than ever before. If we want food, we don't have to go out and hunt it ourselves. We don't have to grow it ourselves. We don't even have to walk to the shops to get it anymore. We can get it delivered to our door with the click of a button. And there are so many things in our life that we can now get with just clicks of a button. And this is good. It's allowed us to spend a lot less time having to cope with basic survival needs. It gives us a lot more time to open up our creative endeavours, our higher aspects of the human condition. But the unfortunate drawback is that it's made us really impatient for results. And it means that a lot of people give up too quickly and they give up too easily because they're used to so many things happening in their life instantaneously with increasing ease. They think that everything in life is going to happen with that same instantaneousness and that same ease. Well, unfortunately, that's not the case. And what I'm here to share with you today is how I deal with my impatience and a really good paradigm that I think is going to help you with your impatience, your frustration, your loss of hope along the way to achieving your aspirational big goals that you have for yourself. And this paradigm is the 4-year degree. And this is a paradigm that I started to think of when I first started in business, and I just wanted to succeed and I wanted to get to a position where I could go into business full time and I could start doing all the things that I love, doing all the things that I was passionate about, and earning enough money to be able to facilitate the business and to facilitate all these things that I wanted to do. And this was maybe 6 months into my journey of trying to make a difference. And at this time, something came to me when I started to think back to my time at university. See, when I studied at university to get my psychology degree, I had to study for 4 years. In actual fact, I was at university for 5 years. I did 1 year at one particular university, and I switched after a year, so I had to start all over again. So it actually took me 5 years to get my degree, but I could have done it in 4 years. And 4 years was what I took to ultimately get my psychology degree from the University of Glasgow. Now here's the thing about that 4-year degree. Nobody gets it any faster than 4 years. Some people might take a little bit longer. Maybe they have to repeat a year, redo a year, actually kind of like what I did when I started again. So sometimes it takes longer than 4 years. But nobody does it in less than 4 years. And the reason why nobody does it in less than 4 years is because there's a process that has to be honoured. You come in at first year, you attend your classes, do your coursework, pass your exams, and that gets you into second year. In second year, you attend your classes, complete your coursework, pass your exams, and that gets you into third year. And this is a process that everybody has to go through. You don't hack your way through a degree. You don't shortcut your way through a degree. There's no click of a button that allows you to get a degree quicker than everyone else. You have to put your mind to it and commit to it for 4 years. And when I started thinking about those years that I had to commit to my degree, what I realized was that actually a lot of significant changes that we want to happen in life come in a 4-year block. If I think back to my earlier years as a teenager, at 13 I was grossly overweight, I was unfit, I was eating poorly, I wasn't exercising sufficiently. And throughout my teenage years I worked hard on eating better, having a better diet, exercising more, playing more sport, and I lost a load of weight. But it actually took me 4 years to lose that weight. From the ages of 13 until 17. 17 is when I stabilized at my normal body weight. That was a 4-year journey for me. It was a 4-year journey for me to lose weight as a youngster. It was a 4-year journey for me to get my degree. Why should my business be any different? And that's when I realized that if I looked at my business like it was a 4-year degree, then I recognized that there was a journey that I needed to commit to. And the thing about a 4-year degree is that you're not the same person over that 4-year period. You grow and you change. Each year you go through, you get more competent and more confident at the process. When you come in first year, I call it the clueless first year. And in your clueless first year, you're really just dealing with living away from home for what is quite often the first time for people. You're learning how to look after yourself, how to manage your money, you're trying to make friends, you're adapting to the new way of teaching and learning that comes in the university environment. You're really just finding your way through. And that's what I was like at this point in time when I realized that I was wanting to grow and develop in business, but I was still my clueless first year. I didn't even know what my business actually really was and what I was going to do with the business. I had rough ideas of where I wanted to go. Just as in first year you have rough ideas of what you want to do after your degree. But I didn't really know. But as you go through those years, into your second year, into your third year, into your fourth year, you gain more clarity on what it is you're doing. You gain more competence in being able to do things well. You gain more confidence in the knowledge that you are growing and improving and getting towards your final destination. And this paradigm, I think, is so useful for us to adopt when we're looking to make change in our lives. Because all this rubbish that you see on internet adverts, losing £30 in 30 days, earning 50 grand with the click of a mouse, it is BS. It simply doesn't work. And if it does work in the short term, it's definitely unsustainable or possibly illegal as well, depending on what it is you're trying to change. Real significant change does not happen in those kind of time frames. You can get noticeable change in those time frames, but you can't get a whole degree in 30 days. You can complete an essay in 30 days perhaps, but that essay forms part of the much larger curriculum. And it's the same for the changes that you want to make in your life. So whether it's like I was as a teenager and you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to get fit, whether it was like I was as an early adult where I was trying to launch a business and to pursue my passion in life, or maybe you're looking for something like love, you're looking for a life partner to settle down with. Don't think you're going to find any of these things in the next 30 days or even the next 30 weeks. If you have a significant change you want to make in your life, I want you to view it like you're going to university. You have a 4-year program and you have to knuckle down, focus, and work through this 4-year period. And I promise you, if you commit and focus for 4 years on your health, on your career, on your relationships, by the time you get to the end of 4 years, boy, are you going to have changed. Now, it might not necessarily be the change you envisioned. It could be something a little smaller, but I reckon it could actually be something even greater than you envisioned, because we really can't anticipate how much 4 years can change us. When I went into my 4 years at Glasgow University, I was 18 years old. I left at 22. There was a very stark difference between who I was at 18 and who I was at 22. Now, as I sit here talking to you, I'm 26. There's been another 4-year shift since I left university and where I am now. And again, there is a very stark difference between who I was at 22 and who I am now at 26. And I know that the next 4 years, up until I'm 30, I'm going to see exactly the same paradigm shift. 4 years is a long time. And if you see any change you make as a 4-year journey, then I promise you, by the time you get to the end of a 4-year journey, you're going to have made the changes that you've desired. You will be healthier. You will be progressing in your career. You will have deeper, more fulfilling relationships. It's just an inevitability. If you commit and focus for that period of time, it is inevitable that things are going to shift for you. But what's really key, and the thing that I struggle with constantly, even when I know this, even when I know the power of a 4-year journey, is you still want it faster. You still want to be progressing and growing at a more rapid rate. You've got to stay patient. You've got to honor the process, and this is something I have to tell myself again and again, that all change is a 4-year journey. It takes a long time for things to change, but if you give the change that time, boy, you're going to see some significant results. So folks, I hope what I've shared with you today has been useful for you. As always, I look forward to sharing more with you in the future. But until then, remember that you are the author of your life. You hold the pen and you can write whatever script you want for yourself. I'll speak to you soon. David. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd appreciate it hugely if you could head over to iTunes and leave a rating and review for the podcast. With your review, please be as honest and detailed as you can be, because with honest and detailed feedback, that helps me to adapt and grow this podcast to most serve you, the listener. Also, if you enjoyed this episode, then make sure you subscribe to the podcast. That way you aren't going to miss any of the future episodes that we've got lined up for you. Until next time, remember that you are the author of your life. You hold the pen, and you can write whatever script you want for yourself. So go out today and write yourself a beautiful story.